Oh crap. More gators, brain-eating viruses. Oh no, okay, good. That's beautiful. This one's a good one. Sorry, man. Just like stairs. Another peak, and it looks like another water obstacle. No gator threat, just brain-eating virus, flesh-eating bacteria. How much urine is in there? Gross.
Saying what we're all thinking.
Oh dear goodness. We're supposed to go under with our head? This is disgusting. Oh, it's a foot and a half underneath. It's not even. 3, 2, absolutely disgusting. Sweep the dirt away. Do not inhale. Do not drink.
Oh, hey.
Do not swallow.
Didn't see you
Do
there.
not get it in any orifice of your body.
Forgot we had a stream tonight.
They get you nice and dirty and wet before making you do the monkey bars.
I only want to
so
show
the trick
this one.
Try to have a dry spot, but I don't. You can dry on the ground. That did nothing. Which is the hardest? Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then of course now they do that.
I think I pulled a muscle on my shoulder.
All right, we can stop it here. We
Hit it with your feet.
Anyone want to see my butt? There's my butt. Look, okay, this is a thin rope, not easy, not like one of those big hemp ropes. Okay, we can stop it there. Good evening, everybody. That's what I did yesterday. This was my first one. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take this off. Oh gosh. Oh. Look, everybody. I used to be a regular on the Spartan scene. This is the medal from yesterday. A sprint, an easy 3 mile, 5 kilometer stroll through the park, just like basically a day at the playground with the kids. You want to see something cool? Those of you who have been around the channel for long enough will know this. Let me see this one here. This one, the Spartan Ultra Beast. Look at this. They don't give these away. The Ultra Beast. This one was 2013 at what's that mountain? Killington in Vermont. And it took me 11 hours and 46 minutes to complete. And I think 2/3 didn't complete. Then in 2014, the Ultra Beast again. Oh, look at that. Does that say it there? Yeah, it says it right there. Ultra. And then in 2015, the Ultra Beast again. 48 kilometers of obstacle course racing madness. So that's what I did yesterday. The kid did the short 1 kilometer, the 1 mile today, and it was beautiful. Stop with the hair fluffing, please. Well, now that you mention it, oh, look what you made me self-conscious. It's going to make me do it even more now. Why would you say something like that, JB? That's what I did yesterday. And I was late because I was going to start with a disgusting Hillary Clinton video. And someone said, show us that big, shiny medal. Hold up the medal from the Spartan race. Awesome job for the oldest guy out there. 45 years old in May. Still got it. Finished in 42 minutes. Like, you know, and I was taking it easy. I wasn't sprinting. I wasn't running. And it was fun. I'm a little sore today. I'm a little tired. But that doesn't matter. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. More fluffing. All right. We'll stop. The joke's over. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Viva Fry, former Montreal litigator, current Florida rumbler. This is the Sunday night law extravaganza with Viva and Barnes, Robert Barnes. If anybody doesn't know, we have a very wonderful vivabarneslaw.locals.com community. It's amazing. It's above average. There's 120,000 members. Like that's just people who have given an email address and get a ton of stuff that's only available on locals via vivabarneslaw.locals.com. If you want to be a supporter, that's $10 a month, or you can go like 1 month by month and whatever, but $10 a month, $100 a year. I dare say it would be the best $100 anybody's ever spent for endless entertainment, bourbon with Barnes's, sneak peeks at vlogs, a wonderful exclusive community, and it's fantastic. But all that to say, this is our Sunday night show. It kicks ass, if I do say so myself. We are live on YouTube, Rumble, and vivabarneslaw.locals.com. And it reminds me, I should probably make sure that we have no technical issues on any of those platforms. And we do not. But now I've got to wait for this lighter ad to stop so I can put it on pause. Give me 1 second. We're live on all 3 platforms. The way it works is we vote with our dollar, our feet, and our eyeballs. And so after we are on YouTube and Rumble and Locals, we end on YouTube and we take our eyeballs, we take our traffic, and we go over to the free speech platform, Rumble. After the stream is done, we head over for our after party at Locals where we answer tipped questions and have our wonderful after party. It's fantastic. Now, it's a warning I haven't been giving in a little while because I thought it went without saying, but these beautiful things called Rumble Rants, Super Chats, you'll see them. Thank you for supporting the channel. If I don't get to read your Rumble Rants, Super Chat, or questions, tip questions, and you're going to be upset and miffed, do not give the Super Chat, the Rumble Rant, or the tip. I don't want anyone coming away feeling miffed, grifted, shilled, whatever the heck word it is. Sometimes it's a fortunate problem. You can't get to all of them. And sometimes I'm just not reading the comments either. So that's a warning. No medical advice, no election fortification advice, although we're going to talk about some interesting stuff tonight. I wanted to start with something that was going to make you sick, but instead I might have started with something that could have made you sick. That is to say, consuming the brain-eating amoeba. It didn't happen, people. And the truth of the matter is that that big lake where they did this, it was actually relatively cool temperature, so it's not like those disgusting retaining ponds that are warmer than a bathtub, and you can see the parasites in them. The water was beautiful. I did not see an alligator there. I saw one there last year when I did a 5K run. I forget what the name of the fun run is. It's a 5K run. There was a massive alligator in the water. So I was going to start with something that was going to make all of us sick. So I think we'll just get to it right now. Oh, this is amazing. It is the proverbial, the magnificent confession through projection. I'm making the joke, but it's not really a joke. They're trying to have certain individuals killed. They're trying to do everything they can to expose certain individuals, a certain individual, to as much exposure as humanly possible to either cause death via stress, cause death via deranged political permission slip, unhinged lunatics. Listen to what Hillary Clinton has to say.
And they say, oh, Joe Biden's old. I always say, look, you're right. Joe Biden is old.
He's not just old.
He's also effective. He's compassionate. He cares about people. He wants to maintain our democracy.
He wants to maintain our democracy by jailing his political rivals, by sicking every aspect of the government against their political rivals. Yeah, he wants to maintain democracy by locking up his political rivals. Yeah, of course.
He will abide by the results of a fair and free election.
When he wins.
Trump is old, and he has 91 felony criminal indictments against him. And 91. In a court of law.
By the way, understand, everybody, 91 felony, a lying sack of rubbish is what Hillary Clinton is. The New York Alvin Bragg case, they're misdemeanor bookkeeping entry issues. They morphed it into 37 felony counts by alleging that the bookkeeping was to feloniously conceal violation of federal election laws. How do you do that? You get a Soros-funded windbag of a DA Alvin Bragg. Oh, a windbag. Okay, that's how you do it. But now they get their freaking talking points, and they are milking it like you milk a Holstein.
It's not just rhetoric. You got to step up and prove evidence. That's one of the reasons you win so many cases, Mark, because the other side is in there just, carrying on, making claims they can't prove. And you actually step up and you got facts and you got evidence. How novel. And you win because you have a better case. This man has been indicted 91
times. That's the second time she said it in 1 minute.
Do we really expect him to govern in a stable, appropriate?
First of all, is it me or is she beginning to look more and more like George Soros the older she gets? I mean, I guess at some point in time, old people all end up looking the same. Men end up looking like women, but she really, really is channeling George Soros in energy, spirit, and appearance.
Rules-based, respectful way? Of course not. And if you're somebody who thinks, well, yeah, but he's entertaining and politics is boring and I don't know what they do anyway. you cannot think like that in this election, no matter what issue you care about. I don't care what it is.
Looking down at her notes,
you will find that the next president will have some influence on that, and you want somebody at the very least who will try to find what the facts are and make decisions that are evidence-based.
Make decisions.
And finally, I think
let me hear this.
We haven't talked much about the international arena, but his bromance with Putin, and it was actually called that, I think, by the former Prime Minister of Australia, who said he saw Trump with Putin, and Trump was like,
can you believe this?
Just gaga over Putin.
Oh, gaga.
Because Putin does what he would like to do: kill his opposition, imprison his opposition, drive journalists and others into exile.
Oh, you mean like the way the Ukrainian regime killed Gonzalo Lira, journalist, the American funded Ukrainian regime killed Gonzalo Lira. Oh, what did she say? Trying to kill their political opponents, trying to jail their political opponents. You mean exactly like what they're doing to Trump right now? The Department of Justice, federally, the RICO crap statewise, the Alvin Bragg crap statewise, the what's the other one? The Merchant. No, Merchant is Alvin Bragg. Engoron is Leticia James. And you trying to kill their political opponents? Oh, you mean like proposing a bill that would strip convicted felons of Secret Service protection? These MFers are literally telling you what they're trying to do and what they're in the midst of trying to do right now by accusing their adversaries of potentially one day going to be doing it. So we better stop them now with extreme prejudice. Holy hell. But Hillary's just remembering when the Republicans tried to jail her, lock her up, right? Oh yeah, they said it. It's insanity and doesn't make sense is the understatement of the year. It's actually it's a little depressing because it's like they're whipping themselves up more and more and more. And like for anybody who's ever seen someone absolutely lose their temper, like become an unhinged, and I mean literally like raging, like they will kill somebody. Like they get so enraged, and the madder they get, It's like the cataclysmic reaction of a chemical reaction of a sun collapsing on itself or going supernova. Like it happens in humans. And when you see it, you know what you're witnessing, that nothing is going to calm this person down. Everything is going to make this person angrier, including themselves and their own reaction. What the Democrats are doing now, the progressives, the leftists, the rhinos, they whip themselves up more, and then they have to respond even more to the way they've already whipped themselves up. He's an existential threat. And we've never had times like this, but now we've got to pass legislation to strip convicted felon politicians of their Secret Service so that Secret Service won't be an impediment to jailing Trump when we convict him on the 91 felon. I mean, where are they going to stop this? And it's depressing and it's dark because I don't know where. They're not letting up. They're just doubling down. And when you double down on a double down, that's a quadruple down. This is exponential madness. And they're liars. And they're liars of the highest order. Listen to this. This is the one I put together. Yeah, this is the one I put together. Listen to this. They lie on open air to demonize the person that they are painting as an existential threat to their very existence, while simultaneously seeking to strip him of Secret Service protection. Listen to this. Dana Bash, liar.
I just want to push on this question of what actually happened, because Donald Trump himself acknowledged in 2018 that he authorized payments to Stormy Daniels and reimbursed Michael Cohen. We actually have the reimbursement checks to Cohen signed by Donald Trump. So those are the facts, because Donald Trump himself.
I'm going to pause it there. I didn't want to interrupt this time because I want you to hear this. I want you to hear it a second time.
I just want to push on this question of what actually happened, because Donald Trump himself acknowledged in 2018 that he authorized payments to Stormy Daniels and reimbursed Michael Cohen. We actually have the reimbursement checks to Cohen signed by Donald Trump. So those.
Did you all catch that very subtle infusing the question with a lie? Donald Trump acknowledged payments to Stormy Daniels, and he acknowledges reimbursing them. Here's the reimbursement to Michael Cohen. What I like, maybe I'm wrong, but I tried to double check, or I did double check, and from what I could surmise, Trump acknowledged the payments to Michael Cohen, but denied knowing what Michael Cohen was doing with that. What Michael Cohen was doing. That's my understanding of what happened. And
are the facts.
Just had to go double check.
Because Donald Trump.
Here, Trump's lawyers have said in court papers in 2017 that his 2017 payments to Cohen were in fact monthly legal retainers. They also said accounts of extramarital affairs could have harmed the reputation of Trump and his family, regardless of his candidacy, meaning the Daniels payment was not a campaign contribution. It's almost like what Dana Bash is saying is not entirely accurate, but infuses the culpability in the question that she asked to Kristi Noem. And her answer wasn't all that good. I'm not going to defend Kristi Noem's answer. It was a word salad, but
himself
that's
acknowledged in 2018 that he authorized payments to Stormy Daniels and reimbursed Michael Cohen.
Quote, I was paying a lawyer and marked it down as a legal expense, end quote, Trump told reporters on Tuesday outside the courtroom. That's exactly what it was, and you get indicted over that. The fact that he paid Cohen is an undisputable fact. The fact that what she says were the proof of the payments that he authorized to Stormy Daniels was the reimbursement to Cohen is a bold-faced lie. And that check doesn't prove what she says it proves. In fact, all that check proves, I can't zoom in, is that Trump was paying. You got the check number there, check date. Looks like March and August. Looks like March and August, if I can read that properly. What you have there is evidence that Trump was paying monthly amounts to Michael Cohen. Not that he authorized the payment to Stormy Daniels, although he might. Michael Cohen says, look, a business expense, don't ask, let me just take care of it, because Michael Cohen is apparently a fixer. We're going to talk about it tonight when Barnes is here, and I see Barnes just popped into the backdrop. And give me 1 second, Robert, because I'm going to do this beautiful sponsor. You may have noticed, and it's going to be particularly relevant to tonight's discussion. You may have noticed when you came to this stream, it says this stream contains a paid promotion. And it does, and it's from the good folks at the Wellness Company. Okay, you can see the window there. That's good. Listen to this. Did you get vaccinated? Either because you were coerced to keep your job or because you thought you were doing the right thing at the time? Are you nervous about the many health implications that are now documented as being associated with this jibby jab? You're not alone. In fact, there's a lot of us out there. Fortunately, there is help. Dr. Peter McCullough, Harvey Risch, Chief Medical Board at the Wellness Company, have formulated an unmatched supplement that may help with all of these issues. You guys have heard talk about the Wellness Company. Their emergency kit, by the way, that's something that have emergency water, have a super hyped up first aid kit. This product is the one that people should be taking daily, according to the doctors. Revolutionary over-the-counter spike support formula is the gold standard for combating spike protein, the substance that is at the root of almost all of the related issues that have been documented. But it's a small risk, people. It's one in 5,000 for young men. Small risk for adults, you know. Holy crap. If they don't exist, then they exist, and they're infinitesimally small, but that number keeps going down and down and down. The Wellness Company doctors from... I'm having an issue here. The Wellness Company doctors hear from people like you every day saying they've never felt the same since the jibby jab. What can you do to get back to what you used to? The Wellness Company's formula has got you protected. Go to the Wellness Company, promo code VIVA, get 10% off at checkout and free shipping. And now I'm realizing the Wellness Company doctors hear from people. See, I was reading the word here in two different ways. But the Wellness Company, the fine folks there, go to twc.com/Viva. They've got the emergency kit. They've got the spike protein kit. And it's going to fit very well into the discussion that we're going to have tonight about Brooke Jackson's, the link is in the description, by the way, Brooke Jackson's Ketam lawsuit and some other stuff we're going to talk about. It's going to be fantastic. Bringing in the Barnes. Hold on. Barnes is looking dapper tonight. Robert, sir, how goes the battle?
Good.
All right, now, Robert, before we get going, let me broaden this just to see what you got in the back. Okay, you got something new in the back, Robert. What is that, if I may ask, while I check our audio levels?
Oh, gifts that people brought to the Vegas 50th birthday party. That was a lot of fun. So there's some food, some whiskey, some bourbon, and some book, a bunch of stuff. So that's some of that. The particular book is about the restraint on the police power of the state and all the cases that used to recognize that the government doesn't have the kind of power they like to see these days.
Robert, there is an issue with your audio here. It sounds like it's doubling. Yeah, okay, so fine. It's not just me. Can you possibly just hit refresh on the screen?
Refresh on what do you mean on the screen?
Okay, log out and log back in, because yeah, I don't know if you're being hacked. It says no buffering. That's at the very least, for the first time, it's not my fault, and it's not on my end. Can't see him either. Echo whoop-de-doo cushion. Okay, let's see if it's going to be better now. Bring him in. Okay, Robert, mic check 1 2.
1 2 1 2.
No, there is something going on with your internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's hear another sentence. Say, she sells seashells by the seashore.
She sells by the seashore.
No, okay, you might have to reboot your computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually it's not booting with the audio this time. This is definitely not on my end. Yeah, if you can, Robert, reboot your computer, and I will play another video as we do that.
Sounds good.
Okay, bring that down there. Do I kick him out from the studio? I'm going to kick him from studio. Kick guest. Okay, I'm not gonna ban him. Yeah, that's no, that's something's going on the internet wrong. Okay, so I see nothing wrong, and then robot is good. Reboot is good. Get her done. Viva it is. Okay. Could be internet or could be 2 audio inputs. We'll let Barnes reboot and bring it back in, because I still have some more stuff in the backdrop here. Hold on. Do you want to play the let's okay, you know what? While we have a few seconds, we're gonna not play Dana Bash's question. We're gonna play Christine Noem.
I just want to
that is coming from a man who really is the truth. Michael Cohen worked for President Trump. President Trump paid his legal fees. He paid his Michael Cohen legal fees and bills, and that's what this trial will bring forward, hopefully, is the truth. What a ridiculous case that this is, and that it's based on the narrative.
Just look at Dana Bash's face right now. Oh my God.
Today that is coming from a man who is proven to be a
She's hearing
liar.
something in her ear.
I'm hoping that this judge makes the right
someone's
decision.
talking to her.
Hoping these jurors can come in and be unbiased, and we'll let this case go forward in a swift manner that allows President Trump to get back on the campaign trail. Americans deserve to hear from their candidates, and the Democrats and the activists are using this trial to derail him, to keep him in court instead of out talking to Americans about what their real concerns are. And their real concerns are their everyday lives. They need a leader in the White House who gets up every day and puts them.
There's a lot of the problem with these segments are you have 3 minutes to say everything. So she answered the question. Michael Cohen was his lawyer. He was getting paid to be his lawyer. End of story. And then slamming as many talking points as you can. It's irritating. It's the nature of these short format, what do they call them? Blasts that you do on these awful, antiquated legacy media outlets
first, and doesn't raise their taxes, doesn't overregulate them, take away their freedoms, and give all our money to other countries instead of making sure that we're taking care of America first and keeping us safe.
Point.
I just want to say for the record, there's absolutely no evidence that President Biden is involved in this. This is a case that is being brought in the state of New York by the Manhattan DA.
That's
absolutely no evidence that Biden has a hand in this. I mean, first of all, how stupid a statement is that? What? This is how corruption works. They know what needs to be done. But how was it that the DOJ was withholding tens of thousands of pages of documents from the case in New York? If I'm not getting mixed up between the cases, and I don't think I am. He's got no hand in it, except that they were withholding documents that they then dumped on Alvin Bragg at the last minute. I hope that is the right case. Oh, but he's not directly involved in it. It's just his administration. Oh, but not in New York, because that's a state case. Oh, yeah, of course.
That's what I think is remarkable, is that if you look at President Biden and what he's done and what his son has done, and the fact that they are not being prosecuted for some of their crimes.
That has nothing to do with this.
Kind of unprecedented.
That has nothing to do with this.
Can you imagine inviting someone on your channel, in your show, for a segment, and then just continually interrupting them like this? It's like a Lloyd Christmas, sticking your fingers in your la 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 la. Oh, it has nothing to do with this. Yeah, because they haven't been charged with anything, despite flagrant criminality. You think they're going to deny? Does Hunter Biden get Secret Service protection? I think he does.
Completely different.
Yeah,
we have a judicial system now that's being used against certain members of certain parties.
My other point that I want to make, Governor, is
to have
you mentioned that he was paying his legal fees to Michael Cohen. One of the things that they are going to talk about in this trial is the fact that it wasn't just a retainer. It was actually a payment to Michael Cohen because Michael Cohen put the money out for Stormy Daniels on his own. But kind of big picture, Governor, if Donald Trump is convicted in this trial, will you still support him in November?
You're damn right. Support him twice as much is what everybody with half a brain should be doing. Because if they succeed now, they're going to do this same lawfare tactic against anybody and everybody. I've been saying this to the DeSantis folks with respect, with the greatest of respects. I was on with Jenna Ellis a little while ago. One thing I didn't get to say at the end of the show, you damn well better support him, because they're going to do this to everybody. To go retroactively, take a bookkeeping issue, a misdemeanor at best under normal circumstances, and then magically transform it into a 37 count felony count indictment is absolute rubbish. On the basis that, by the way, everyone's going to look real stupid if it actually turns out that Stormy Daniels was the one attempting to extort Donald Trump, as Michael Avenatti, her attorney at the time, has intimated in his prison interview with MSNBC, I think. People will look real stupid if that's what comes out. The only problem is it won't change anything, because these hacks are so emotionally, intellectually invested in the lie that they are promoting. They won't even care. It comes out that there are emails between Stormy and whomever. Give me money. And it's not, in fact, a hush money scheme, hush money that they've transformed into a felony, but rather an extortion scheme from Stormy Daniels. People are going to look real stupid, but nobody's going to care. If it turns out, as some journalists have suggested, that Michael Cohen actually had an affair or had some sort of relationship with Stormy Daniels, apparently dating back potentially to 2006. This is not me reporting it. This is other reporters who have already reported this. If it turns out that there was a relationship and then Stormy says, you better get me my money, and Michael Cohen's like, well, don't worry about it. What's $130,000 to Donald Trump? He won't even know it. I'll just ask for another retainer of $35,000 a month over the course of 6 months. People are going to look real stupid. People are going to feel real stupid, but the problem is stupid does not know it's stupid. It just keeps doubling down. The one thing that just blows my mind, by the way, Dana Bash was cutting off Kristi Noem when she was talking about it. Having a president that you know is working for you, not working against you, not chanting Slava Ukraini in government, in the House of Congress, while passing another $60 billion to fund a foreign conflict proxy war against your rival, Russia. Let me just bring this up here. They passed another $60 billion in aid to Ukraine. And you had the Rep Swalwells of the world taking to Twitter, chanting Slava Ukraini, glory to Ukraine. American congressmen in Congress waving the flag of a foreign country, chanting glory to a foreign country. I don't care if it's Ukraine. I don't care if there was someone in Congress in America saying glory to Israel, I think people would have a big problem with that, and understandably so. Someone in there saying glory to France, long vive la France in the House of in Congress, I think people would, and rightly so, have a very big problem with that. But you got, as Kristi Noem is saying, you got a president who seems to be working harder for the 10% for the big guy than working on problems in America. Who did I have on? When I had on Jason Palmer. And we're talking about the problems in America that could be solved overnight for the amount of money that is being lost, unaccounted for in this money laundering scheme through Ukraine. With the money lost, you could rebuild Lahaina. You could resolve the water crisis in Michigan. With the money that is not accounted for, you could resolve, or at least put a serious dent in high school gun in school gun violence. I mean, people don't even know this. I put it out yesterday, and you have to adjust for inflation because the article was from 2012. It wouldn't be that expensive. Listen to this. This was back in 2012 when people were being reasonable, at least some. Studies have shown that armed guards may make students feel less safe at school. That's not the issue. The question is whether or not they make them more safe. It wouldn't be that expensive. Here's some simple math. The median salary for a police officer is $55,000 and change, probably more now with Biden-inflation, or as he likes to call it, Putin-inflation. And there are about 99,000 public schools in the country. And of those, about a third already have armed guards. Putting police in the remaining schools would work out to an annual cost of about $3.6 billion, which really is more like $4 billion or so when you factor in the benefits. Maybe, let's just say it doubles every 7 years. So it's more, let's say it's $8 billion now. Do you know how much they've lost and can't account for in terms of the taxpayer money laundering that's been going on to Ukraine? More than that. Eric Swalwell, I just read it here, from Bang Bang's fame. Look at this. Let me pull this one up. Well, Barnes is still rebooting the computer, and sometimes that takes longer than people would like. Let me bring you this one up. I mean, you won't believe it that this is what U.S. congressmen are doing, saying. Like in Canada, you got Chrystia Freeland, who's wearing a Ukrainian flag and not a Canadian flag. And even if you're wearing both, you want to represent both countries, get the hell out of the Canadian government and go work for the Ukrainian government. But to sit there in the government of the country that you were elected to represent, hold on, I can't bring this up here, and then tweet, Slava Ukraini. Listen to this. This is from Bang Bang Swalwell. LOL, you will never do anything about it. He's railing against Marjorie Taylor Greene. You've been rolled more times than a bowling ball. Slava Ukraini. I want to highlight one thing first and foremost in this. We are now witnessing how saying glory to Ukraine, Slava Ukraini, they're not even saying it because they like it. They're not even saying it because they believe in it. They're saying it because they think it's an own of the Republicans. Ha ha, shitheads. We got our 60 billion Slava Ukraine. It's like almost like a taunt, a slur, not because these Swalwell has any sincere desire for the well-being of Ukrainians. If he did, they might have talked diplomacy before tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people were killed or injured. He couldn't care less. For him, it's a political tool now. For him, much like for Tim Scott, much like for David Cameron, the blood of Ukrainian men and women is the lubricant for the war machine in their proxy war against Russia. He comes out and says, Slava Ukraini, to which I had to say, forget the fact that you're banging a Chinese spy, talk about, traitorous behavior. Apparently she was banging him. I don't know. People are telling me things that I'm not sure. All I know is there's an alleged affair. I don't know who was doing it which way. You're a U.S. congressman chanting glory to Ukraine, glory to another country, one that you were not elected to represent. You should be kicked out of Congress. You might also want to research the Nazi history to what you are chanting, unless, of course, that's part of the reason you're chanting at Swalwell. This is from Wikipedia. And so, if it's in Wikipedia, it's got to be exponentially worse. I've seen a number of breakdowns, history lessons. Yeah, sure, they did it back in the 40s under Stepan Bandera, but that things have changed. Things have changed. It's now when you say it, it has. They stopped raising their right hand when they did, or their left hand, whichever one. In April 1941, in German-occupied Krakow, the younger part of the OUN seceded and formed its own organization called the OUNB after its leader, Stepan Bandera. The group adopted fascist-style salute, along with calling glory to Ukraine and responding with glory to the heroes. During the failed attempt to build a Ukrainian state on lands occupied by Germany after its invasion of the Soviet in 1941, triumphal arches with glory to Ukraine, along with other slogans, were erected in numerous Ukrainian cities. According to historian Grzegorz Rosoliński-Liebe, an observer recalled many ordinary Ukrainians abandoning customary Christian greeting, glory to Jesus Christ, Slava Isus Christou, in favor of the new OUN greeting. For this reason, Greek Catholic Metropolitan Archbishop Andrei Shepitsky criticized the OUN for the greeting created in the second half of 1942 by the OUN. The Ukrainian insurgent army dropped raising of the right arm above the head. People don't know this. They said that it's just the newest trend of the day. We should say glory to Ukraine. That's what's getting the virtue signaling points. Well, make sure everything's okay with Barnes and that he didn't actually get hacked by the FBI. You okay? Question mark. Oh, so that's what's going on there. Let's see here. Nice job in the Spartan race, Jay Mill. Thank you very much. Beautiful, beautiful brook trout. I think that's a brook trout. And while we wait for Barnes to reboot and come back in, let me bring something up here. Let me see here. Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, look, we'll do the Rumble rants until Barnes gets here. Here, check this out. Do I see here? All right, I'm not your buddy guy says, just watched the Civil War movie, and I believe, spoilers, the ending where they drag the president from behind the Oval Office desk to shoot him in the head is a wet dream of the left, unfortunately. Oh, geez, did I just ruin that? I'm sorry. I hope I didn't ruin that. If anybody really cared about watching it, in response to that New York, geez, did I just candidate who said, "Die MAGA, die." I say, "Die uniparty." I say, don't wish death on anybody in general, but especially on social media. And if you do, I mean, look, I'll bring that tweet up in a second. And obviously, F. Hillary and her corrupt, womanizing piece of shit of a husband, they should both be in prison, says T1990. Sage of Four Winds, never forget, Hillary tried to blame Columbine on Mario and Virginia Tech on football. On Mario and Virginia Tech on football, there is no limit to how far they will go. Capo Suit says, by Leticia James calling the Surtees an extraordinarily large undertaking, isn't that a tacit admission it is an excessive bond? We're going to talk about that. There's so many things that are wrong in that filing in general. Brian Brown, 22, says, how can they claim the payment was for the campaign if Trump paid Cohen in 2017? Because he made the payment in Cohen made the payment in 2016, and the repayment was made over 6 months in 2017 when Trump was president, when arguably presidential immunity would apply to acts of a president in the context of their presidency. Yeah, you want to talk about the political permission slip that this type of outrageous rhetoric gives people? Hold on, I'm going to open this up here in incognito. It whips people into a frenzy where they say things. I mean, unless his account has been hacked, unless the account was hacked, and in which case I won't apologize because there's been no indication his account was hacked and no statements. This guy writes Slava Ukraine and then die MAGA die, you lose. U.S. congressional candidate for NY26, healthcare as a human right. Ban assault weapons, whatever that he thinks that is. Fight MAGA, peacefully, of course, until you tell them to die MAGA die. The tweet's still up. I don't understand this. If that were... Douglas Mackey got jailed for a tweet that said text in your vote to whatever the number was to vote for Hillary. He got jail time for that. Convicted or charged, convicted, and we'll see if he serves time. This guy comes out and says the statement with the history, but maybe he wasn't raising his right hand because they knew not to do that anymore. That was a little too offensive. Says Slava Ukraini, die MAGA die, you lose. I mean, maybe he meant it like Sideshow Bob. The MAGA, the. Oh, I wasn't saying die, bot, die. I was saying the bot, the. 100 Republicans voted for it, sir. You're right, MRAM. There's a lot of rhinos out there in the swamp. Oh, lordy. Okay, so now hold on a second. I hope Barnes is okay. Here we got one more here. My computer restarts in 2 minutes and it's a bit old. Where's Barnes? David, wouldn't that be breaking the Foreign Agent Act shofar? Yeah, I'm going to see where Barnes is. Hold on, I texted him. I hope he's okay. The crowd is getting antsy! ! And afraid you've been captured. Period. All good? ? Okay, let me stop the screen here. I might have to get into some of the subject matter before we before Barnes gets here. Hold on. I have my bookmarks up here. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, this is it. We'll start with one. Justin Trudeau's. Well, we'll start with something Canadian. You got to appreciate this, people. Just a little dose of Canada, and I haven't seen the. Oh lordy, hold on 1 second. What's going on here? This. Okay, hold on. We're gonna. Vinny came. I'm just gonna open this window. And we're gonna listen to some good advice from Vinny before I talk about the first story.
This short period of time, into this short period, School. You're gonna be done. You're gonna be done before you know it. High school, college, done. In this time, you figure out what you love to do. When you wake up in the morning, what is the thing that you want to go to work that's not work? Something that you love to do. So like what we do, I make people laugh and I entertain people. I'm getting paid for this. You know what I mean? They're giving me money to do exactly what I wanted. That's why some people that have a job, they're like, oh, I can't wait to go home. That's not the way to live your life. This short period of time.
Some people were joking that the kid didn't understand the advice. He understood the advice. He woke up the next day and said, what am I going to do? What do I be when I get to be an adult? And I say, dude, your job might not even exist yet. Worry about that in 20 years. For now, absorb information and grow as a person. All right, everybody, the latest news out of Canada. Justin Trudeau is finally going to make good on his 2015 campaign promise in 2024 by 2031. Listen to this. This is not a parody account. This is not the Babylon Bee. This is Father, Liberal Party, Justin Trudeau. He says, if you think Canada's housing plan is ambitious, that's because it is. We're going to build almost 4 million new homes by 2031. We're going to change the way homes are built in Canada, and we're going to create a new generation of homeowners. Let's get going. Can everybody do the math on 4 million houses? Everybody do the time frame on 4 million houses. Everybody do how many people it would take to build 4 million houses in 6 years, 7 years? It was 2015, Justin Trudeau announced that they were going to, solve Canada's housing crisis, make houses affordable. The only way that this is going to be happening is if Justin Trudeau is going to do like the prefab houses that they sell on Amazon. I think it was one of those annoying kids from the interwebs who had a channel and they bought one of those houses. I forget what his name is. The only way that is going to work is if people start living out of shipping containers that they convert into tiny condos. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's going to be a little bit more of the 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. You'll get your prefab house, and we're going to solve the housing crisis by building encampments that are utterly unlivable. Because your house, after we change the way homes are built, is going to be a shipping container converted into a condo, stacked one upon the other. It's going to create a new generation of homeowners because the home is going to consist of a shipping container that's been converted into a condo, and build 4 million homes by 2031, when in 2015 he announced he was going to resolve the housing crisis. And in 2024, he's saying in another 7 years. And by the way, how are they going to finance it? How are they going to finance it? I talked about this in the vlog on Friday. Not sure if anybody saw it because it's Canadian crap and nobody really likes it. They're going to start taxing people more. Surprise, surprise. The announcement coming out of Canada is they're going to start taxing capital gains taxes at a rate of 66.6%. A lot of people found that to be quite amusing. 66.6. Because right now, for those of you who don't know, you get taxed on 50% of your capital gains in Canada, and you get taxed at a rate of whatever bracket you fit into. Justin Trudeau put out a video, and I broke it down on the Friday vlog, that it's not fair that a teacher should get taxed on 100% of their salary, but a billionaire only gets taxed on 50% of his passive income coming from capital gains and that type of income. It's like, that's a bait and switch, because if a teacher has passive income through whatever the source would be, capital gains through whatever the source would be, they're going to get taxed on 50% of that as well, but at the tax rate that applies to them. Justin Trudeau comes out and says, don't worry, we're going to impose new taxes. It's only going to be on people who have a passive income from capital gains and whatever of $250,000 or more. All right, sounds good, because right now, according to Justin Trudeau, it's only going to apply to 0.13% of Canadians. Yeah, I'm going to do another wellness check. It's only going to apply to 0.13% of Canadians, which means that there is only 0.13% of Canadians who have a passive income of $250,000 or more. There's only 0.13% of the Canadians that are going to be the subject of this tax for now. But they're going to tax you now, not just on 50% of your capital gains, 66.6% of your capital gains, but only if you make more than $250,000 in passive income for now. Do you know where that ends? It ends exactly where it ended when they said it was going to be 50% of your capital gains. So they're going to tax people even more. Push out whatever investment was going to come from the people who drive innovation, drive investment, drive them out of the country to where they're going to go to countries that have more favorable taxes. It's going to harm investment in Canada and in the long run, cost Canadians more in both respects of driving the intellectual capital and the financial capital out of Canada and the passing down of the cost, which they don't seem to understand. The more you tax the Amazons of the world, the more charges they impose on their users, the more they increase the price of their products. And so 66.6 is scary. So the more you tax, it's a double whammy on Canadians. That, and by the way, why would anyone risk their money for no reward? No, you're risking their money, your money, so you can reward the government. Growing up, my father always said the government is your unwanted 50% partner. Now they're your 66% partner in the capital gains that you make off risky investments, and we know it's going to happen. But don't worry, Trudeau didn't resolve the housing crisis in the first 8 years of his his prime ministership. He'll do it in the next 7 years. Now I'm getting a little concerned for Barnes. Should I call him? Gene Shibler says, this is what these people do. Steal from you and make themselves richer, and they hate you. Yep. Well, you know that Justin Trudeau, when they were designing that unconstitutional, human rights violating ArriveCan app, the one that tracked where you went, the one that told me that I had to quarantine my 12-year-old daughter at the time, that app was supposed to cost $80,000 because it's a freaking garbage app in the first place. It ended up costing 55 or 60, maybe even more $1 million. A budget of $80,000 to $55 to $60 million for a freaking app. But don't worry, they'll tax you up the wazoo and they'll steal your money and they'll know exactly how to spend it, squander it, and line the pockets of their brethren. Oh, okay. I'm getting a little. Now the whole thing is the more concerned I get, the more concerned everybody else out there gets. Let me go to locals and just see something here. Call. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. It's ringing. If someone with a Russian accent picks up, I'll let everybody know. Maybe they might have a total internet outage. Well, everybody, don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. But we're going to get started on some sub. Oh, he's back, people. I was just about to go absolutely hog wild on Benny Thomas, but I guess I'll save that for when Barnes gets in here. At least we know the Pravda hasn't come to get him. All right. Although why is he bleeding on the head? I'm joking. Robert, let's see if this is working better. Everything okay?
How is it? Check.
Oh, so much better. Okay, good. People were thinking that you got hacked and then got whisked off to a secret police station, Robert. Okay.
It always takes forever for this computer to reload.
Well, now people are questioning how old your bloody computer is. Robert, what do you have behind you? Because I want to say Pappy's only because I can't see it, and I assume that's what it might be.
Oh, no, it's a bunch of gifts that different people gave. So different kinds of whiskeys, rums, bourbons, books. That's a book on the police power of the state and, the cases that used to remind the government of the limitations on the police power of the state. So all of that.
Okay, now what we're going to do, we've been on for 50 minutes. We're moving straight to Rumble right now. So everybody, let me give everybody the link to the Rumbles and the link to vivabarneslaw.locals.com. And we're going to talk about, so Robert, actually, before we do that, tell everybody as I do that, what's on the menu for tonight, because we got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of cases, got some crazy cases. I mean, the most, the one that won the no favorites was number one, but right behind it was all the Trump-related cases, including the immunity argument, which will be heard at the Supreme Court this week. Then all the craziness with the Trump trial, of course, and good logic trying to get through the challenge to the unconstitutional gag order that the New York courts are doing everything possible to hide from handling. Then we have Brooke Jackson. We filed our opposition to the government's attempts to intervene and dismiss in that case. We'll go through that. Filed a Supreme Court petition this week as well on behalf of Children's Health Defense, against the Food and Drug Administration, asking the question, if they can't sue the FDA, then who can, challenging the standing doctrine in general. We got crazy cases out of Pennsylvania, not only an update on the Amos Miller case, we got people who are today imprisoned in jail in Pennsylvania, though they have never been charged with a crime, and though they have never been made parties to a case. And yet courts, at some level, complicit with a rogue state agency, has ordered their imprisonment with no set determination, according to the order of commitment, by a court that doesn't even have criminal jurisdiction that signed off on this, a court that's going to handle the appeal in the Amos Miller case. So you got to wonder what's going on there. We have another case where a woman has been charged with a crime for recording her own court proceedings. So we got that going on. We have the Supreme Court heard January 6th hearings, of course, this past week that you covered. Also, we have the Supreme Court issuing decisions in a confusing interpretation of a case that involves takings clause and Texas. The homeless rights issue is going to go before the Supreme Court either tomorrow or on Tuesday. This is the last oral argument session for the Supreme Court. Now we'll just be waiting for decisions after this week of oral arguments. They also made a good decision on Title VII. We got Biden issuing new policies on Title IX. It appears to apply to things that, by its plain language, is not supposed to apply to. And a few other interesting fun cases that might percolate up.
Robert, there's a warrant in that Pennsylvania case. Is that a public document?
Kind of. I mean, so it's been given to other people, namely sheriffs. And it was sent by the proto notary of the court. I mean, all of it's just completely wacky.
Okay, we'll get to it. It's just that I didn't look. It has an address in it, and I didn't want to bring it up, or I don't know if it's public, but whatever. We'll get there with the Pennsylvania case. People, I talked about it last week after you did the bourbon with Barnes. It's effing nuts. But we're going to get there. We are now going to end on YouTube, everybody. Sorry for the glitch and the intro, but now you know a little bit about the Canadian stuff and how Canada's going to turn into Venezuela in 5 to 10 years if Justin Trudeau manages to stay in power. Ending on YouTube. Come on over to Rumble or Locals. The link is pinned for Rumble, and I shared the Locals link. And that's it. We're going to start with Trump because it's just, Robert, I'm saying it out loud now. They are trying to facilitate someone killing him. They're trying to do it. We're going